Guys, welcome to the TRM Show, guys. I am your host for today, guys, the TRM Show. My name is Mathew Park, and I am very excited to have a special in-house guest today from a fellow Canadian province called Quebec, Canada. She's an absolute moving international speaker right now. She's been in Quebec making waves happen with entrepreneurs in her business over the last, almost over a decade.
Yeah.
And I've given her a nickname, Fire Fallone. Her real name actually is Fallone Jean. And she has built a business, built gyms, had boot camps that had over 100 people at some point in her business. She has coached in fitness for many years, and now she's also coaching entrepreneurs and has been for the past 5+ years, primarily females in Quebec, right, in the French market, but now venturing into the international market, being in English. Of course, the success in Quebec has gone so well for you over the years. And one thing cool about Fallone is neat because her business actually was an online business for quite a few years.
Yep.
You realized that it wasn't really your cup of tea in that category. So you kind of like readjusted the whole business model to more of an in-person with a slightly online, but more in-person model. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Beautiful. So Fallone, what brought you to this? Right now you're in Canada right now. We're enjoying some sunset, some vitamin D, lots of good conversations as well on business, which has been fabulous. What brought you to Cayman, Fallone?
You.
Okay, well, I feel good.
Well, of course, our friendship, but the most important thing for me is to stay here 3 weeks for my English immersion, because as you just tell, I want to be an international speaker, but I speak French, so that's not international. So I'm here for my English immersion, and of course the sunset, the beach, it's perfect. And the gym every morning. Yeah.
With us crazy guys.
Yeah, crazy guys. But you're pushing my limits. It's perfect.
Are you a little bit sore? Muscles?
All my muscles are sore. Yeah. It's really hard here in Cayman. Yeah.
This is actually her first English interview.
Yes, it is.
You know?
Yeah.
And before this, I was like, yeah, it's actually going to be us. It's going to be live. And I said, be live. And I could see you sort of like breathing. You know, but I want to applaud because she's an amazing human being at teaching people how to get unstuck and overcome barriers and build their business with it really kind of overcoming inner beliefs and blocks they're kind of going through, especially entrepreneurs that are already having success in their business. They're hitting kind of that plateau, possibly even in an income level for 30 to 40K months or 20K months for maybe a year or 6 months. You're hitting this wall. You're coaching entrepreneurs, obviously, how do you get unstuck to keep leveling?
Yes.
Correct. So let's kind of go there for a second, Fallone. So let's say, of course, we've had some long talks here.
You're speaking so fast.
See, I love this. She doesn't get me. I'm throwing this speaking talk. So I'm going to throw a little mindset map down for a second.
Please,
here,
please, thank you.
And, we've had some pretty awesome talks the last week and a half. Deep talks on life, entrepreneurship, even my own things I'm facing with the business to grow the business to the next level, and even your journey, our journeys. It's been beautiful. A coach right now, let's say a coach is on this call listening or on this podcast, and they're at an income right now where their income level has not really changed much, 6 months, 1 year, maybe even 2 years. And they want to grow, and they actually have a good income stream, not a lot of profitability, maybe they do or they don't, but they just keep hitting the same wall.
Yeah.
What do you tell somebody? How do you coach somebody in that process on that first step?
Well, a lot of people are going for a new strategy, so they are doing more than what they already doing. So they are doing more marketing, more coaching, more business call, more sales calls, and that's not bad. But they just keep getting exactly the same result, the same results, because they haven't done the inner game, the inner work, because it's all an inner game. But you know that. And the inner work is like you're going through like a comfort zone, and you're doing whatever you're doing in your business, and then you want to go in your genius zone. But in between, there's a ceiling.
A thermostat level, a ceiling.
Yeah. So people are hitting the ceiling, and they're just like, oh, I think I will go back to my comfort zone because I know what's gonna happen here. So they're not really happy with those results, like the just under 1 million. I'm not really happy, but I know what's going on here, and I don't know what's going on over my ceiling. So I'm I'm just unconsciously going back to my comfort zone.
Mm.
And they will convince themselves that, well, like 50K per month, well, it's not bad, because people are doing that per year. So 50K, well, it's pretty good. So they will start convincing themselves, I don't really want a big team and I don't really want that, and they will just get back right to their comfort zone.
Got it.
So that is like the leap that we have to do.
Yes.
So when you go in yourself to look at what are your fears,
Yes.
what is blocking you, like what was blocking me, it's my English, because I'm like, no, I'm not gonna talk in front of everybody with my accent, and I don't have the right words. And can I have so much success? Can I go pass through 1 million because I hit this, but can I go to 10 millions and over? And who am I to go on a stage in front of 20,000 people and everything? So it's not just strategy or mindset. We have to go into our wounds and to our blocks and everything.
Interesting.
It's a beautiful work to do.
We've done a couple talks the last little while on basically those kind of things, which is kind of interesting, you know. And so I think, you know, talking about wounds and trauma you've gone through, or things that you hold on to, beliefs you hold on to in your entrepreneurship. What are the most common ones you find with entrepreneurs, what they face as they're on this growth process?
The fear of not being enough.
Okay.
I am not enough.
Okay.
And the problem with money, all the limiting belief with money, to not being an asshole with money.
Interesting.
It's the two that I can see that come over and over again.
Any of the male, I'll use more female or male people that have come to you and look, of course, you know, got your guidance, that are kind of like they're driven by a lot of, maybe we'll use the word ego, or driven by a lot of like hustle and grind, which obviously has its place.
Yes.
But continually keep doing that over and over again, and really kind of either get the same result, or they get results but are just never happy. They're always chasing something.
Exactly.
What's something you would tell to someone like that, or coach them like that, or a question you might ask them?
Interesting question. What have you told to yourself when you were in that journey?
I think for me, it's asking, you know, what is my why behind what I do? And then the other question I think I ask myself is, you know, am I on the right path?
Exactly.
Right? Am I almost like taking the wrong turn, going back to what is the true vision of what I'm even building in the first place?
Exactly. Because the hustle is not bad, as
of course.
Well, we need an ego
to
protect ourselves. So the problem is not the hustle or working too hard. The problem is it's never enough.
Yeah.
So they reach the big mountain and they're okay, then what's next? So they a lot of mostly men, because a woman can do that for a limited time, because she's just getting tired. She gets tired of doing that, and she cannot find her purpose in that. So a man can last longer, I think, in that path to success and try to reach more, until he just find out that he's rich, really rich, but there's nobody beside him.
Right.
So he has a Lamborghini, but there's no one in it. So then it's like, well, I'm not happy. So what I'm supposed to do with all that money, but I feel empty inside, and there's nobody beside me. So why am I doing all this work for? And then they're doing the work, the inner work. They have to do it anyway. So sometimes we do it in the beginning, sometimes we do it when we hit the ceiling, and sometimes we can go over the ceiling, and then at the top of the mountain, when you're rich as fuck, you're like, okay, then I'm not happy. So what's the purpose of all that? So that's when we have to do all the inner work.
On your journey of like coaching at this level, and when you first had your gyms, did a bunch of boot camp coaching, mindset coaching, now entrepreneur coaching, what's one maybe challenge or thing you had to really overcome, or that helped you kind of like elevate, that was an aha light bulb moment for you, like, oh, that was a wound, or that was a trauma, or that was a struggle for me, but I overcame it?
Good question. Feeling enough.
Feeling enough. Okay.
Yeah, enough for people, because I always challenge myself not to be the biggest fish in the pond. Can we say that?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
So I always challenge myself to go into a bigger room to learn from other people. So I was sometimes the only woman and sometimes the youngest one. So it was really challenging to find myself there and feeling enough.
Okay.
And I have a fear of talking, public speaking.
Yeah.
So I overcome this. It's still a challenge, but I'm doing it anyway, because I love so much the vibe of being on the stage and the energy and everything. And but the fear of not feeling enough, it's been a challenge, but I can hustle for a long time, and then when I get all the results, I'm like, oh wow, am I okay? Am I enough? Are people liking me?
Yeah.
So I have to do my inner work. It's an everyday process, I think.
Interesting.
And that's the problem with a lot of entrepreneurs who are working so hard.
Yeah.
They don't do the everyday process.
Right.
Like you're doing your morning routine,
Of course.
your lecture, and your walk at night every evening. But people are just hustling every day so much that they don't take time for them to write, to ask the right questions, because it's just a question game.
Of course.
Am I okay?
Mhm.
Am I feeling okay? Am I doing enough for my family? Do I feel okay with that? Have I contributed this week or today? So it's all the questions of not too much question, but just to be okay every morning. Just, am I okay today? How do I feel? It's a big question, but people just wake up and go for work
100%.
to make more money or whatever.
What do you think is the balance between like success and peace? Like, when they grow their business and they're, whether it's income, whether it's team, whether it's products that they have, services that they have, they're growing, right? But then all of a sudden, like, where's, you mentioned the word, like, it's never enough. So then is there such a way as enough, or is it more of an internal way of like gauging the peace and fulfillment that you're trying to achieve? And that's the inner work that you're talking about to continually keep growing in the business or in your life.
Well, I think it depends for everybody, because I don't really believe in balance, because you can work for 50 hours and be
Totally good.
Yeah, and totally good. And some other people work so hard because they have a wounds of not feeling enough if they don't work 80 hours a week. So it depends, but I think when you do the inner work every day, you can reach whatever you want if you have the right reason for. If it's just for making more money, women cannot last long in that game.
Got it.
Because we want to contribute and we want to take care of our family first. That's the reason why women wants to make a lot of money. It's not for the clothing or the cars or everything. Women can try that for so long, but not really. And a man can stay in that, I want more money, longer than a woman before getting exhausting. Yeah. So but when you do the inner work, you can make as much money as you want and help so many people, but you have to feel good every day in that game. Because if you feel a balance between, I'm taking that much time with my spouse and that much time with my kids and with my social time and everything. So if everything is balanced for you and you're happy with that, go work as much as you want, but you just have to feel good with that. So I don't think there's like that like the 4-hour weeks. I don't want that. I don't dream about that. The 4-hour day, that's great for me, but 4-hour weeks, I'm not there yet. Maybe someday I will listen to this and I will say, oh, your accent, that's beautiful. And I will also say 4-hour weeks, maybe that's the thing that I want, but for now, that's not what I want. So I think it depends.
What's nice about this combo is that your English actually is really good. You don't even actually realize how good your English actually is. But it's the thing is too, is I think it's the uniqueness of when you talk, there is an accent that actually makes you more unique.
Thank you.
So that's actually, I think it's leverage for you, when you're running a business, and also when you're speaking, whether it's podcasting, stages, whatever you're doing. Let's go back for a second because, we've had some pretty intriguing talks together the last, week and a half. You've seen me with the kids, with Genevieve, business, I've had the stresses. I've, not been present. I've been present. I've been, talking about like where we are right now as entrepreneurs for both your business and mine, and having some just life talks, which is nice because it's the importance of being around the right people. Yeah. So what's some people right now, they're growing their businesses and they're, hitting that wall, even what you've almost seen from me, for example, one of my listeners right now actually have families, they have kids or they're in a relationship. And you've said, oh Matt, like I never realized some things about like how you can balance both, not balance, but even integrate both.
Yep.
Because I like to have my kids come in there whenever they want to, not scream in the microphone, but be a part of what dad's doing, mom's doing, because that's important for integration of kids.
It is.
So I'm just curious your thoughts on that, Fallone.
About what?
About like what you've seen and what you would almost like with entrepreneurship and family life, and what you kind of noticed last week and a half, because obviously, we kind of just put you into the house and like, here's what's happening.
Yeah.
But you've seen how our kids are, how Jen is, how I am, and you've seen some deep conversations about some tough stuff and some really evolving convos about some growth stuff.
Yeah.
What's some maybe advice or insight you've kind of gathered about that for entrepreneurs that are going through that phase in their business?
Yeah, but I think here in Cayman it's different because people are more present than where I'm from in Canada. Everybody looks so stressed and there's a lot of violence, not in town, but inside violence. So everybody's so stressed. So I don't have kids, but I can see people really stressed out every morning. Go to school, hurry up, we're late, we're running late, go. And it's going so fast and people are exhausting. And the difference here, because I can compare now, is that I can see Jen in the morning playing with kids and you are taking time to make breakfast and everything, talk with your kids. So I think the business game is way much more fulfilling.
Mm-hmm. Fulfilling.
Like that was fulfilling. Yeah, getting good. Fulfilling. When you can exchange that with your spouse and with your friends and with your kids, then I'm going to work and then I'm going back home.
Right.
So for some kind of people, it's way better when it's separate. Right. But it's difficult for kids to have a parent who's an entrepreneur and is working so hard and is always in his head thinking about the business and the team and the money and growing and what's going on with everything. So when you can integrate them, well, it's good for your clients because you're trying to build a heart-centered business.
Yes, correct.
So you have to walk the talk.
Of course.
And that's what I can see here. It's not, I'm going to teach you something and I'm going to do something else. So yeah, I think that's amazing for the kids, for your spouse, and for your clients and for you.
I will say Fallone's done a really good job with the kids. If you guys listen right now, if she decides to have a kid one day, she'll be an awesome mom.
Thank you so much.
Jimmy and her and also Willie have kind of bonded. Jimmy, it's kind of funny, we went for food last night with sushi, and Jimmy and her were like rocking and rolling, playing. He was eating so much sushi, it was crazy. But I love that. Okay, let's say there's a coach that is on listening right now and they already have a successful business, but they've been at that level of income for a while and they keep hitting it and they keep hitting it, they keep hitting it. How would you coach somebody through overcoming it to go to the next level?
We have to see what are the thoughts in his head, because you are creating your own reality. Mm-hmm. So I'm teaching it in French, but I've never asked myself what's it in English. So it's your thoughts goes to your feelings.
Correct.
And your feelings create your actions. Yes. And your action creates your reality. Mm-hmm. So when you want to change the million million years or 10 millions or whatever, you have to get back to what are your thoughts.
Right.
So it's all about limiting belief, always. So I'm gonna ask him, what do you believe about you? And most of all, after the limiting belief, before the limiting belief, there's what's the story you're telling yourself every day.
Right.
So because you can change your state and you can change your strategy, but if you don't change the story that's running in your head, like I'm not good enough, I don't have enough time, I'm not making enough money, I'm too old, I'm too young, whatever it is, it's kind of limiting belief, but it became your story. And you're convincing yourself that you cannot reach more than that, or if you reach, like we can say, like more than 1 million, then it's going to be too much work. But that's so unconscious that people are like, no, I can do 1 million and I can do 5 if I want. But unconsciously there's a fear of so there's 4 fear, and it's Jimi Hendrix book, The Big Leap. So not being enough. The other one is going to be too much, too much work, too much paperwork, too much of a team and everything. The fear of losing everything. Or someone not cheating, but taking all your money. Robbing.
Robbing.
Someone robbing on you. And the last one is sparkling too much, shining too much. So I don't want to bother anyone with my shyness. Can you say shyness?
Your sparkle.
Brightness.
Your brightness.
My sparkle. So that's the 4 fears that people hit the ceiling every time. So if you can take the 4 of them, because we all kind of all have 1 or 2 in this, so you can find which one is it, and then you change the story about it.
Love that. Let's say, for example, this coach or this entrepreneur is, you're almost, sitting down the first session, you're going over these 4 fears. They're hitting this financial barrier, but now they're actually getting overwhelmed. They're kind of on the verge of they're tired, they're burning out on both. Like a lot of our coaches that come in, want to grow their businesses. They want their back end systemized. They want to still keep growing, but they've been running this business this way for so long. They're like, almost be my savior on the first month. So how would you take somebody in a situation like that to maybe get their inner game fixed when they're already trying to keep this whole business together at the end of the day?
Well, first of all, breathe.
Breathe,
because we have to systemize everything. We have to, because when you reach a certain level, you cannot do it by yourself. Of course. So systemize is really great. And then after that, you breathe, you come to Kaiman and you retreat with you. So you breathe.
That's yes, guys.
That's yes. Coming. And you retreat.
That's it.
Kaiman is perfect. You can sell that. I'm gonna buy that.
100%.
Of course.
We're gonna have some fun.
So breathe, and after that, you have to confront where you are. So if it's not going through, it's because it's your fault. There's something in yourself that is blocking that. So sometimes it's people say, well, it's because of one of my employee, or it's because of the market, or it's because people don't have enough money to pay for my service. It can be true. But most of the time, it's an inner game of, okay, if I look myself in the mirror, what is not working with me? What am I afraid of? And sometimes, maybe most of the time, it's the fear of making too much money and the judgment that comes with it.
Interesting.
Not all of the time, but because there's judgment in front of people that are doing a lot of money. And that's why I enjoy so much Kaiman, because I'm paying $18 Canadian for a fucking latte every day, and people are so happy to pay that
lifestyle tax.
But people are so happy to pay that because they're gonna take their coffee and they're gonna talk with someone who has a great mindset with money. And that's the price for the lifestyle tax in Cayman Island. It's the mindset tax, because because they know you, but every people that I reach to and I speak with, they have such a great mindset with money. because they are so happy to pay $18 for a coffee, and I'm like, what? I thought Starbucks was expensive, but Cayman Island is it's the next level of coffee. But everything is so expensive here. But they have the right mindset, because money is just energy.
Yes.
So if you change your mindset, then what's the difference between $10 or $18 for a coffee?
Exactly.
And it's like $40 for a watermelon.
So guys, coffees and watermelons, okay?
Yeah.
We know they're going to be, even like grapes. You go buy a block of grapes. You know?
Yeah, but it's fun. It's funny because people are really, really happy to pay that. So that's the difference, because when you're around people that have that much money and are happy to give money,
Of course.
to get a great lifestyle and have fun and making great memories, then there's no problem with money. But when you're like, let's say in Quebec or Canada, or I don't know where your clients came from, but if I take myself in Quebec, people are like, $18 coffee, well, you cannot live there. And I'm like, yes, of course I can live here if I want, but it's not the same mindset. It's not the right mindset, but the same mindset. So there's nothing wrong with a small mindset or a great mindset. It's just a choice. But it's not just mindset. So there's a mindset for money and there's a soul set for money. And you have to adjust yourself with being okay with receiving so much money, because people want to make money, but they don't know how to receive money, and they don't know how to multiply money. And that's what we have to do, because people get money and addition money, but we have to multiply.
Correct.
Yeah. So people just get afraid with, okay, I'm gonna pay this one, and women that don't know what to do with money, they give it to other people. So I'm gonna give more gift and give it to that charity and give it. So I'm okay. I don't have enough money for me. I'm good with that.
Interesting.
So that's a ceiling problem.
Wow. Yeah. You're very intriguing. But so you have a book coming out.
Is it making sense?
It's actually very insightful.
Because in my head, it's like it's not the right verb tense.
It's funny because at the beginning you're like, Matt, you're gonna talk most of this talk. I'm like, once you get your motor going, you'll be like, oh no, you stop, and they'll be like, flows will be on fire.
Yeah.
So I love this. So now
I love talking about money.
100%.
Yeah.
A book coming out soon.
Yeah.
Sometime in the near future. We don't know a date yet, but send the title.
No.
Okay. You want to share the 4 empires?
Yeah.
Okay, share the 4 empires.
Yes. So it's coming from Robin Sharma. So you have the mindset, of course, the soul set, the heart set, and the health set. Yeah. And when you put the 4 empires together, you have my book title.
So guys, watch out for her book coming out. It's sometime in the future. Title we're going to keep secret at this moment.
It's
only
happiness.
Yeah.
It's the path to success, but not money success. It's all success in your life. So it's a real kind of happiness. Yeah.
That's one thing I really appreciate about having you in Cayman is, you bring an awesome energy, of course, with you, number 1. But number 2, you told me at dinner one night, you said, I'm here to be a sponge. And I can see how you're sponging everything up. Like you're almost like your mind is wide open to like receive friendships, information, contacts, new information, learning this, learning the kid thing, the gym thing, meeting this contact. And it's beautiful because, the gym in the mornings with, with our crew, with our funny names, you're meeting gym people at the gym and you're developing a rapport with all these beautiful people, right? So I really appreciate how not only you came here, of course, to vacation, but how you took this time to like really be open to people that you're meeting. And how open you are to that process, because most people go on vacation and they kind of close off to that process. And they enjoy the vitamin D, they go for dinners, but you've making the big effort to like expand on your horizons.
Yes, and it is an effort, because with my heart set, I used to be really close because of the wounds that we were talking about.
Right.
So with the betrayed wounds, and I don't want to be too close of people.
Right.
Because of the fear of being abandoned and not being enough and everything. So I used to be like really business minded. So it's just business. We're talking. Thank you so much. Going back home. So, and I'm learning. Yeah, I've been in this path for a year, maybe 2. but I'm learning with you that you're so open with people, and there's like 1,200 hugs every morning at the gym. I'm like, well, I'm all sweating and I have to give hugs to everybody. But it's funny because you're so open heart.
Open heart, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you're attracting a lot of great people, and that's one of the part that I enjoy so much here, is that you're attracting so much great people, and then I can meet them. But I would not be as open as I am now if I haven't done all the inner work.
Right.
Yeah, because at a certain level, success can come, and we are learning, and then the ceiling always gets there, and then you got to the next level of success, and there's another ceiling. Right. So that's why we, as entrepreneurs, we are always on a path of learning how we are. Yeah. And there's always another. When you take off rocks and you're like, oh, I'm feeling so great, there's another rock coming. And that's the most interesting about entrepreneurship, is that we always have to get that work done inside, because I think it was Jim Rohn that was saying your business will never go as far as you will. So we have to do that inner work. And I think men's are so and it's great for that, but they're so business oriented that sometimes they forgot to take care of the man inside, and the little boy that is just caring for being taken care of, and having real love and deep conversation and everything. So it's more of a girl thing, but men's need that too.
Almost like elevate them to like push even farther for a why behind their bigger vision.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
And maybe it's because of the limiting belief that, the belief that men cannot cry and don't be a little girl and everything. So they just have to push harder and harder always. But I think that's why I love coaching men so much, is when I can see the little boy in their eyes, and I'm like, oh, I just find something, and that is so easy to just level up after that. But it cannot be just hustle.
Of course. Yeah, you have a way of definitely finding those inner child things. You can like see them pop up, and you're like, oh, I can see your smirk pop up.
Yeah. I'm having so much fun.
Then you lean there like, so what about happened when you were younger?
Well, dinner with Fallone is so great.
Yes, 100%.
Talking about inner child. Yeah, but I don't usually do that when I'm out of coaching, because it's not fun for people to talk about that. Yeah,
100%. Yeah, it's more for like one-on-one sit down. Someone actually is open to talking about that conversation, right?
Yeah,
I love that. So Fallone, this is absolutely amazing. What a great way to actually segue to like your first English interview with myself.
Thanks.
I'm very grateful, of course, for you choosing me to be the first person. Of course, that's amazing. And I'm looking forward to seeing this help other people that, of course, will listen, and seeing you on stages in the future, and maybe even see you make a move to this beautiful island one day, which I'm just planting these little seeds for her right now, guys.
You're so good.
And we'll definitely, we're looking for someone special for you on
Yes. And when is going to be the next Cayman retreat here for TRM?
May 21st.
May 21st.
Yes, May 21st. Yeah, May 21st.
Yeah. And are you going to open someday like your retreat for other people than TRM? Like entrepreneurs that just want to take a part of your mindset and all the amazing people here? Because, wow.
I think you've inspired me through the questions you've asked me, and we still have a week and a half, 2 weeks to go, by the way.
Yeah.
Where you can open the mind up to what is possible down here, and also opening up where my superpowers actually are as a business entrepreneur. So I'm also in learning mode as we're helping each other. I'm also a big believer in like those beautiful connections where you can be open to receiving, getting questions, diving deep. So thanks to your support, yeah, that's definitely going to be a future thing. And what about you, Fallone? Are you seeing something happen down here with an event down the road? What do you think?
Of course. There are so much great people here that I've done retreat all over the world for now.
Yeah.
But I've never heard of Cayman before you talk to me about that, and everything is perfect here, and you have such great contact. So I think I can build something really great, and I think it's gonna be because in 2025 I'm gonna take only 10 private clients for the whole year. It's not a program; it's just private clients. So maybe I can come back next December and organize a retreat for my private clients. Yeah, I think.
See, already planting the seeds to make it actually grow. I love this. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
So where can they find you online, Fallone?
Oh, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. TikTok is gonna be in English as soon as
Is it fire? Is it at Fire Fallone?
No, it's fine. It's Fallone. No, it's Fallone.
You might change
Coach
that
Fallone.
word. Okay,
I
Coach
could.
Fallone.
Yeah.
Coach Fallone, guys. So look online with 2 L's, Fallone. Watch for her book in the near future. Watch for her speaking games coming up as well, guys. Looking forward to seeing her. Follow her, support her, share her stories, even though they're in French. They'll be in English very, very soon.
Yeah.
And Fallone, we're gonna have some fun together over the next couple of weeks.
Of course we did.
Thank you, champ.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. I know how hard it can be and tough it can be when you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or even burnt out in growing your business. I have been there, so I can relate. So before you wrap up, I want to offer you something special, free of charge, as my gift to you. It's our TR Business Assessment. If you go to trainerrevenuemultiplier.com, you can get a copy of that. There's a link on the homepage to grab that assessment. This will give you clarity you need to see where your company is at right now, the bottlenecks you're facing or where you're possibly stuck in the business, and what steps you can take to move forward to grow it to the next level. And if you want to go one step further, we can book a call together and I can personally go over your results with you and give you a roadmap you can move forward with to grow to the next level. Head over to the website. Let's get some clarity together. I look forward to speaking to you soon, and I wish you an amazing day. Take care. Let's keep rocking.